Hello Capricorn, it's Rebecca Empathic Crow, and I'm focusing today on the energy for May 2026. However, whenever you see this reading, it may have something for you. Readings are timeless, and sometimes the time that it's recorded is not when you see it and not when you need it. Now, when I tapped in before your reading, here's what I got. A time of change, and then I heard, you don't need to know when or how. So sometimes that's not a comforting thing for us, especially if we feel like it's about change, because change can be difficult. Change can make us nervous. It can make us feel uncomfortable. So Capricorn, let's tap in and see, check in and see what is it that is going on for you. Now, Spirit says we don't need to know the when or how, but what's going on for Virgo? What's important for Virgo to know? We're starting out with the Modern Witch Tarot, and this is by Lisa Sturrell. Capricorn, Three of Cups. That could be a good thing, especially, I'm smiling. I'm not feeling anything negative from this 111 as I said that. A time for change. So, seeing a party, and I know that's in the card, but it's like, the biggest thing I'm seeing is just someone being completely relaxed in their element and allowing themselves to be just like silly. I'm seeing silliness. I'm seeing I'm feeling peace and comfort. I'm just seeing somebody just really enjoying themselves and relaxing. I'm hearing it's time to celebrate. You've been through a lot. I remember a bit of April's reading and the energy was super heavy. Does not feel that way this time. Yeah, be playful. Be playful. All right, let's see where we're going with that. Anything from the card. I'm being called to her mermaid shirt. Well, I don't know that it's a mermaid shirt, but it kind of looks like it. So, again, leaning into that playfulness. Yeah, just really feeling called to that playfulness. So Virgo, let's continue. Let's see what's going on. Virgo, Capricorn. I don't know why I said Virgo. Maybe you've been feeling kind of like, feeling like you have to do things a certain way and in a certain order. Things that have been going on, you felt like you've had to be regimented. Because I'm seeing kind of like, and so, and I still have the 4-leaf clover that have fallen on the floor before Virgo's reading, which may be another reason why I said Virgo. But I'm really seeing like this is a breaking out of that box, breaking out of that pattern, a sigh of relief. Anything else for Capricorn from the Modern Witch? All right, we've got 2. 6 of Wands. So this is a moment where, like it says, you know, a time of change. So this is a change, but this is a victory. This is you coming in, and whatever it was that was putting you in that state where things felt so overwhelming. And I feel like for at least a few months, the biggest message for Capricorn was getting out of the all 333 on the clock, all work, no play type of mode. So part of the victory may even be, and we'll put that card that way so I remember to go back to it, that you may be even just allowing yourself to not have to feel so regimented, focused on work and like you can't play. The victory is that you're being playful. And it doesn't have to come in like I'm seeing like a blast of cold air. It doesn't have to be something that's fast moving. This horse, that's what triggered my brain into it. It may be the year of the fire horse, but this horse is just kind of like gently walking in the way that it looks from the photo. And so I feel like that's partly saying, you know, you don't have to like come out all guns blazing announcing, you know, this is the end of it, because life cycles around. But it's like just this inner peace, quiet inner peace is where I'm kind of seeing this. But then she's still got the gold V earrings, and so she's like, yeah, 444 on the clock, that's my victory. That's my victory. So definitely a time where you are feeling more comfortable. Now we do have the 7 of Swords, and with this person kind of sneaking off with the swords, I feel like part of you wants to try to make sure that the things that were keeping you in a stressed mode before can't come back. And we can't fully prevent it. You can do some things to maybe prepare. If you know that, okay, so this, let's say it's work, and you know that if you don't organize the files, then that means you are overloaded with them and you have to do it later, right? So maybe you go ahead and organize the files, and that pulls away the potential for that particular thing to happen. But we don't want to get overloaded again, because then you're right back in all work, no play mode. So with this, I feel it's saying, okay, you can kind of try to remove the daggers, remove the things that may be potentially causing issues in the future. But it's more about finding a balance of being observant, being aware. You know, we always talk about using your intuition. And then I'm hearing that phrase, what is it? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So not over planning. If it happens, then you can lean into it. Notice that even this color back here is a yellowy orange. So I'm seeing solar plexus and sacral chakra, allowing yourself to release the anxieties, and then pulling in, again, that playful, more confident self. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. And more passion in your life. And we got that pink down here, heart chakra. There is some, you know, darkness over here, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Black, red can be colors that represent the root chakra. So just getting grounded, that way you're not looking at these darker shapes as something to fear. It's just, hey, maybe there's a roadblock, maybe something comes up, but I'm not going to focus on that unless it's a problem. And maybe there are things that I can do that would be helpful to prepare, but not over preparing. I hope that makes sense. It felt like a very loopy thing. And I saw 7-Eleven when I was looking up. So maybe that is a lucky thing for you. I told you I have the 4-leaf clover that I found on the floor under one of the cards before the Virgo reading. And if you have Virgo placements, then the Virgo reading may be helpful to you. It was a lot about recognizing what's your responsibility, what's not your responsibility, and focusing on you and your growth and building your emotions back up, releasing some of those old hurts and emotions. So we have the King of Cups and the Four of Wands that came out. The King of Cups fell on the floor, and I was talking about balancing your emotions, and that's what the King of Cups is about, balancing those emotions. As I'm looking at this little pink cup, it's kind of bringing me to, I'm seeing the Six of Cups in this deck, and it has somebody who's offering this child a cup that has like sparkles and things in it. And so I feel like, again, this is just reiterating, releasing some of the hurts of the past, or some of the things that have happened that may have triggered feelings of vulnerability, and recognizing that not everybody who comes in offering a cup is going to be cryptic, is the only word that I hear about it, but that's not what I'm trying to say, is going to be offering you something that is not good. So balancing those emotions, and also balancing, we've got this, a lot of yellow in here, again, that solar plexus chakra, so that we can really evaluate if something needs attention or an anxious feeling or not. Because you're the King of Cups. If you're the King of Cups, then when you're unbalanced, yeah, your emotions may be all over the place and whatnot, but we're reining it back in. There can be fish jumping out of the water and waves crashing, and we're just going to allow ourselves to be like, I can manage this. Why? Because you've already been through the hard crap, and now you're working on being like, no, I'm coming back up. I got the supports and I've got the tools to be able to handle this. With that Four of Wands, that leans into possibly celebration again, or even connections that are helpful to you. See if there's anything kind of coming in that I see the most. It could be romantic, of course. Sometimes people see the Four of Wands as the marriage card, but just with that city behind and the nature out here, I feel like, again, this is leaning more into connections with others or situations, 10:10 on the clock, that make you feel more playful, that make you feel more relaxed, that get you out of your head and get you out of that workspace that's in the background. Okay, let's move on from the tarot. Capricorn, let's look at that inner child deck. I've been using this one quite a bit for these reads. Let's see. For Capricorn, what is an inner child message? Inner Child deck is by Amanda Lynn Elsling. What's an inner child message for Capricorn? So we have a few that are wanting to come out but haven't fully. They're sticking. You got a lot of messages wanting to come to you. But Spirit, just one please. Maybe two. We'll go with that one since it's sticking out. 11. Master number. We're not going to break that down. And it's 11 minutes and some seconds on the clock. Do what you need to do. It may be difficult, but now is the time. We got an angel in here. We have kind of like this magical woodland looking forest, but also these stars and everything. I don't know if you can see those stars in the background. I feel like this is allowing yourself to shine. There's kind of a nostalgia in this card. Like, it's reminding me of the angel I have up here by my mom. So there's definitely an angelic connection. And where I said that, maybe this is something with your mom, even if your mom is still here. And I got this from Goodwill, so I didn't realize it still had a price tag on it. Even if your mom is still here, this may even be some things where you're working on that connection or relationship, or there is some maternal ancestor that is connecting. And they both have gold wings, so that's pretty cool. But let's go back to the cards. I feel like I'm a little scattered in this message, and this may be 12:22 on the clock, the way that you feel after feeling like you were so stressed out. Like, I'm just seeing stressed, burnout, exhaustion. Those are the things that I'm seeing. And most of the card is light, except for these wings are dark. And I feel like that's just a nudge toward balancing the, we all have shadow and light, and balancing that out, noticing that the shadow, the more difficult things, there's not as much of that in this photo. There's not as much of that right now. And that even when there is, you've got the wings to be able to carry you through. And divine support. You've got divine support. Like I said, this feels like a mother figure. And even if your mother's here, it could be grandmother, great-grandmother, aunt, some kind of maternal figure. 1313 on the clock has got your back. That's what I'm feeling. Somebody's got your back. Could be multiple someones, because I'm seeing, even in my own head, multiple family members, females who have passed, but carry a strong connection forward. Just like Virgo, you got review your responsibilities. I said that earlier. So that's a 28, which is a 10. Like, this is a completion of this particular cycle. And not all responsibilities are ours to hold. So this is you being able to let those boats float. Let them go where they need to go. If you are over-functioning and taking care of things that you don't necessarily have to, you could delegate the responsibility, or you're putting in more work than others are. It's reviewing your responsibilities and allowing yourself to say, that's not mine to carry. And you're going to love this one. You ready, Capricorn? 20, which can break down to a 2. It's time to celebrate. Cultivate an air of celebration today. And just like with Virgo, this is a card that well, both of these. This is actually the card with Virgo that I talked about, the full moon. So again, if you have Virgo placements, you may want to watch that video. There's a full moon in both of these cards, and I'm recording this today, the 28th of April. The full moon, I believe, is May 1st. And so again, I told Virgo, and I will tell you, Capricorn, I will try to put these up before the 1st of May. But the energy of the full moon lasts a few days before and a few days after. You may already be feeling the full moon. I know last night the energy just felt a bit crazy yesterday, and we're getting into that energy of the full moon. Either way, with the full moon, focus on the things that you want to release. And I believe this is a Scorpio full moon. And as a Scorpio, I can tell you, we understand death and rebirth. We understand cycles, completion, beginnings. And I know that you do too. So just know this is a completion. You're releasing things and you're stepping into a time that's going to feel, or can feel, less stressful. But you have to allow yourself to review those responsibilities and to do what you need to do so that you can relax and celebrate more. All right, Capricorn, I loved that reading. I hope that you were able to get something from it and that it was helpful to you. Please feel free to comment if there's anything in particular that you'd like to say, or even just to say hello. And if you would like a personal service to be able to explore your personal situations or anything, just let me know. Like, subscribe, share. I always appreciate that. And I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do that, I love it because the messages get to go where they need to go. My brain is hearing several noises, so I apologize if I seem a little discombobulated at the moment. But at least we got through your read. And like I said, I feel like it was a really good one. So thank you, Capricorn. And hopefully I will get to see you again sometime soon, whether in a zodiac read or one of my other readings or in a personal session. I have live sessions several days a week. There are a few hours that I do those. And I also have readings that are pre-recorded, or there are also short written messages. Take care.